Hi, everyone. Welcome to Appliance Advisors. I'm Francesco, joined by Dennis. Today, we're going to talk about surprising features in modern dishwashers that we think you'll love. And I'll start off with a couple some newer features that you may or may not be aware of. And, so one I'll start with, and you're seeing this in a few different dishwasher brands, like GE specifically, too. Everyone nowadays has big water bottles or sports bottles, things like that. So you're seeing now that, these dishwashers on that top rack actually have a specific bottle wash area where we'll shoot the water straight up and get into that bottle a little bit deeper and do a better job there. GE has another one, so similar feature but different, this time on the bottom rack. GE has a cutlery wash. So we all have kind of the cutlery tray on the bottom. You're loading up a bunch of silverware there. They actually have washers underneath that are spraying directly up into that basket. So in theory, does a better job cleaning the dishwasher. Let's see, what else? I got a couple more. So I would say LG, I really like this feature. So LG does a really nice job incorporating steam into their dishwasher. What the steam does too is it helps loosen up those really kind of baked on stains. So like a casserole, for example, that steam will kind of burst right onto that casserole, loosens up some of that baked on mess and residue that's really hard to come off. So it does a nice job getting some of that off. And kind of in that same ilk, the newer Bosch dishwashers, they've come out now with a power control arm. So you can essentially split the bottom of your newer Bosch dishwasher into 4 segments, and you can have it kind of wash, a heavy wash kind of in this side or the back side, and really focus on maybe some of those heavier baked on casserole dishes, bowls, things like that. So definitely, dishwashers isn't somewhere that you normally think of, crazy features, but those are some of the newer things that are out there that, you may consider. How about you?
Marketers. That's what they are. Marketers. I'm a purist. Wash
Dishwasher
and dry my
purist.
dishes. That's what I care about. And maybe some flexibility in the tines. That's it.
Yep.
Bottle wash. My bottles wash just fine without a bottle wash feature. Pot and pan scrub do okay too. And I've had a ton of brands. So listen, it is true though. That's what you'll read about today.
Yep.
Whether or not you buy for that reason, I don't know. But they're smart. They know
Yep.
people do drink bottles. They do know a lot of people have kids. And when you have kids, what do? You hyper vacillate on everything kids.
Absolutely.
So the next big thing, probably, in my opinion, the more wash. Does it just wash well? I don't need any special zones. Does it just wash?
Yep.
Okay. Number 2, the tines are an important feature.
Absolutely.
And there is flexibility. I encourage people to bring a couple of their important bowls or plates or pots or pans that they just use continually. Bring them in.
Yeah.
You should bring them in and try them because no 2 dishwashers are going to load your pots and pans perfectly well. The final thing that I would say would be, would definitely be drying. It's probably the most important feature for a lot of people, or what I should say, maybe not buying it initially, but probably one of the biggest complaints afterwards. The first one is you can watch our other videos where we talk about how to use a dishwasher, using rinse aid, leaving the door dry, all the types of things, the new ways these dishwashers work. But drying specifically, brands have done some really differentiated things that have resulted in a better dry. We know that all machines, plastics, we talked about kids earlier and how people are just nutty about that as we all have had kids and are nutty about them.
Yeah.
But plastics are really the toughest things to dry by hand or by machine. And with the energy restrictions, there's some that have done something different. Bosch has absolutely conquered that.
Yeah.
They have. They really have.
No question.
They use Zeolite, which is like a volcanic material. It sounds all hocus pocusy, but it's amazing. It's natural. That in conjunction to their normal dry with that Zeolite, and you can watch our videos on it. Come and test it. There's nothing like it. Simply put, it dries.
Yeah.
It is the best drying dishwasher.
No question.
Mic drop, walk away. It's
I can
just true
attest.
that it is.
I have a Bosch with the
You've
crystal
had 2
dry.
of them.
Yep, I've had 2 of
You
them.
actually said your most recent still dries amazingly
Still
well,
dries
but
amazing.
You felt like the first one had a little extra Zeolite.
I think they might have reduced the Zeolite a little bit. I'm not sure. But
We're not making a statement to that, but you do feel that way.
It still dries amazing though. And I have 3 kids, so we do a lot of plastic and bottles. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff. We pretty much run the dishwasher every day, but I will say dries amazing still. And we still use the rinse aid. We do all the things that you're supposed to do. We absolutely make sure we use a rinse aid, no question about it. But crystal dry definitely does
And I will say, I don't have a Bosch. I have a Cove. I am happy with the dry. I've had a KitchenAid. I've been happy with the dry. So it's subjective. But when someone comes in and says, I absolutely am crazed about it, and I want the machine that absolutely gives us the best chance to dry, it is a Bosch. Still, nothing like your parents had 30 years ago,
Yeah.
using a ton of energy and just a hairdryer
Yeah,
basically.
80 degrees in the dishwasher.
Yeah. Those days are over, but it does dry well. But the next one, Miele. Miele does an amazing job, really kind of always has. And up until the Bosch Zeolite machine, it is a very good, it's a phenomenal dishwasher, but two, its drying is exceptional, where it basically, it's a warm inside, stainless steel interior. It heats the water to 160 degrees, draws in cold ambient air from your home, cooler air. The cold meets the warm, pulls to the steel, drips down the sides. Sometimes there's a fan in there moving air as well. And even a few models will kick the door open in the final dry time to even get that extra burst of air. So still a phenomenal drying system with Miele. Who else? Let's talk about steam drying. That's a new thing.
Yeah, so even with the LG, we talked about LG before, how the steam really helps the cleaning part of it. It certainly helps with the drying as well, especially kind of with that condensation. The steam gets really hot, so it helps with that drying. But also with the steam, it helps reduce water spots as well. So instead of having kind of all the spots on like glasses especially, the steam helps reduce some of that as well. So the dishes come out kind of look cleaner and certainly dry better without those spots there too.
Yeah, and then finally, GE. You're a big fan on GE. GE uses smart feature with the fan pulling in cold air, kind of a hybrid of all those technologies we talked about, sensing the humidity and the moisture and the water cycle to kind of pull it in to end up with the perfect smart dry, if you will. That's it. And you can watch some of our videos. We've tested these. We've shown them. And Shannon Stoner did a great video watch the other day. So take a look. If you want a deeper dive, check the channel and get your dry on.
Yeah, maybe some features that might be more markety, but you know what? You might like them, you might not, but certainly the drying.
I'm a purist. You just want it to wash and dry and be quiet, which is all.
And don't forget to follow us on social media for appliance tips and updates from Miele Appliance.
Your feedback is what shapes our series. Like what you saw? Give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you.
Stay informed and inspired on all your appliance needs. This is Appliance Advisors signing off.